I'm just about beside myself with this book. This book. Mimzie is so excited. Look. Squirrels. Squirrels. These are those darn squirrels. Y'all, this is brand new for Mimzie. I have never read this book before, and we're just gonna jump right in, and I'm beyond excited. Ooh, somebody's an artiste. Look at that. Some fancy artwork. Okay. All right. Looks like we're out in the suburbs. Feel like who was that? Roscoe P. Coltrane? On the outskirts of a town, at the edge of the forest, there was a little old house. The only thing older than the little old house was the man who lived in it. Old man Fookwire. Mim's going to say that one in slow motion. Old man Fookwire. F-O-O-K. Nothing tacky here. So, it's an old man. Old man, let's see if I can't shift just a tad. Old man Fookwire was so old that when he sneezed, dust came out. He was also a grump. He hated pie. He hated puppies. Oh, we can't be friends. The only thing he liked was birds. Birds? Are you kidding me, Fookwire? All summer long, the old man painted pictures of the birds that visited his backyard. There were whirly birds, and bonga birds, baba birds, and yabba birds. Even a rare flugel bird came by once or twice. I think somebody's abandoning me. We are making these names up. Fookwire's paintings weren't very good, but the birds never said anything. You think he was very good? I will say, we do have some goofy looking birds. I wonder which one's the baba and which one's the yabba, and how you gonna tell the difference? Oh, all the hangers. When the air turned crisp, like a good Diet Coke. When the air turned crisp and the leaves began to change color, the old man grew sad. He knew that soon the birds would fly south for the winter, as they did every year, and that he would be lonely. Because you mean, really, because you mean. Then he had an idea. If he fed the birds, maybe they would stick around. So old man Fookwire built beautiful bird feeders and put them up all around his backyard. He filled the feeders with delicious seeds and berries, and soon birds came from all over the forest just to eat in the old man's yard. I see where this is going, because you can't have a bird feeder without a squirrel. Mimzie knows all about squirrels. I know these things. But the birds weren't the only ones who liked the bird feeders. The squirrels did too. Mimzie told you. I told you. Can you see the book? I want you to be able to see all the pretty pictures. Not many people know this. Not many. But squirrels are the cleverest of all the woodland creatures. In fact, they're fuzzy little geniuses. They can make a house out of a tree, a bed out of a bunch of leaves, and a box kite out of twigs, dirt, and squirrel spit. I think they're stretching with the box kite, but that other stuff is true. I can vouch. We'll verify. They are excellent at math. Kids said they don't even know what this guy is. That's an abacus. Couldn't tell you how to begin to use it, but I know what it's called. Now I'm guessing myself. Abacus? Is that not right? I might have to do a Google search when I get done here. Winter was fast approaching, and the squirrels needed to gather as much food as they could to get ready. So they decided to take some of the bird feed. I mean, literally, it's out there hanging for them, saying, "Come and get me." Oh, Fookwire, look at him. You pesky kids. Squirrels. The birds were not happy. Neither was old man Fookwire. When he discovered what had happened, he shook his old man fist and yelled, "Those darn squirrels!" Sounds like Papa at the river. I'll never forget the time he was re-roofing the house at the river and he found a dead squirrel and he squawked. We thought he had found a snake in the ceiling. Just a dead squirrel. Albeit very crispy because he had bit a wire and crispified himself. But I digress. He filled up the feeders again, but this time he hung them from a clothesline. He thinks he's clever. Then he went back inside, confident that the squirrels would no longer be able to get to the seeds and berries. I guess he don't watch TikTok. That is not going to work. But the squirrels were determined. They devised a plan, and this time they took all the food from the bird feeders. Look at those clever rascals. They climbed up to the tree and weighted it down and boop! Snacky snack time! Look at those fat squirrel bellies. They look milk drunk. Mimzie knows about milk drunk squirrels too, because I have fed many baby squirrels in my day. The birds were furious. Haroof, 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 yelled a bonga bird. Those darn squirrels, yelled old man Fuquire. Yum, said the squirrels. Yum, because they had a snacky snack. Uh-oh, looks like a Rube Goldberg. Oh, yeah. Now it was old man Fuquire's turn to devise a plan. He went to the general store to get supplies. He bought lasers and clamps. He bought wires and springs. He bought all sorts of tools and built a veritable fortress around his bird feeders. Then he refilled them very carefully. Not going to be careful enough. That's not going to cut it. Na 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 na, snorted the flugel bird. So this is the flugel because he's got his mouth open. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Oh look, squirrels are getting in on it. They've got a plan. I tell you, they might need to call their little buddy raccoons over because raccoons are pretty clever too. The squirrels stayed up all night working out their strategy. They drank cherry cola and ate salt and vinegar chips to help them stay awake. Finally, they had it. The perfect plan. They put on their tiny helmets and prepared to launch themselves into the air, over the fence, between the lasers, and on to the bird feeders. Very clever indeed. I wonder if I got some cherry coke inside. Things always, I read about stuff and then I won't. The first squirrel misfired and hit a tree. Oof, that is not a good look for him. The second squirrel went too high and landed in a bucket. The third squirrel sailed clear over the house. I bet he can fly, but I bet he can't land. The birds laughed and laughed. They each had one last delicious mouthful of seeds and berries from the old man's feeders. Then they flew south for the winter, just as they did every year. Said the flugel bird. T-H-H-B-B-B-T-Z. That's what that is. I never knew how you spelled that. T-H-H-B-B-B-T-Z. Let's remember that, because we're going to need that vocabulary word again real soon, I'm sure. That's a good vocabulary word. All right. Look at the squirrels. They're watching Mr. Flugel with his sad face, or Fuquire, I'm sorry, it's Mr. Fuquire, with his sad face eating his porridge. After the birds left, old man Fuquire was lonely, just as he was every year. He fixed himself some cottage cheese and pepper, his favorite snack. It's pretty good. Don't knock it till you try. But he was still lonely. When he looked out the window, the squirrels could tell that he wasn't happy. Go away, shouted the old man. I don't like you squirrels. You like how my voice changed every time I speak for Mr. Fuquire? He has multiple personality disorder. The squirrels held a meeting deep inside a large tree. They decided to give the old man a present to make up for taking the seeds and the berries. Squirrel meeting tonight. That's what the sign says. Now, not many people know this, but squirrels are not only fuzzy little geniuses, they also collect just about anything they find on the ground. These squirrels had a vast stockpile of spectacular junk to choose from. But what would Fuquire like? Bottle caps, popsicle sticks, postage stamps? Finally, they had it. The perfect gift. You see anything in there you would like? Oh, I kind of like that necklace. That's fancy. Let's see what they come up with. The squirrels stacked all of their loose change on old man Fuquire's doorstep. There were dimes and pennies, there were nickels and quarters, there were even a few tokens from Coco's arcade. It all added up to $47.36, plus a few rounds of skee ball. Dude, that'll fill my vehicle up with a full tank of gasoline. Maybe you squirrels aren't so bad, Fuquire said when he found the coins, but I still like birds better. This gave the squirrels another idea. They raided their junk collection again and got to work. Look at that face. This is his face. Oh, that's the Fuquire face. When old man Fuquire woke up the next morning, he was amazed to see that the birds had returned. Oh, that's an amazed face. Something looks suspicious though. Does it look suspicious to you guys? I see birds, but wait, those things weren't birds. They were squirrels in disguise. Great googly moogly, said old man Fuquire. This will make quite a painting, I'll say. He ran outside and took down the lasers and the wires and the spring-loaded trapeze. He turned all the bird feeders into squirrel feeders. Then he painted till his brush ran out of bristles. The squirrels were so overjoyed, they had a party in old man Fuquire's house. A rave. Those darn squirrels, said Fuquire, and he shook his old man fist and smiled. As he should, because squirrels are the very best ever of all time. Oh no. We got another darn squirrel book we're going to have to get. Mimzie needs it. Somebody's going to have to get it and send it to me. Those darn squirrels and the cat next door. Sounds very ominous. This was a great book. I just love a good squirrel book. We're at the end though, so I have to say the end, and my very best favorite part of the day is just I need you to remember that. Mimzie loves you.